In the last class, we have completed the CTA part. Now we are moving to the legal services given by the individual advocate, senior advocate, or forms of advocate. Then who will pay the tax? Recipient who is located in the taxable territory will pay the tax. Correct? And similarly, arbitral tribunal to the business entity will pay the tax under reverse charge. Now, the business entity means who person carrying the business, carrying out the business. That is the business entity. Question comes, suppose I'm asking the question, you will give the feedback, you will give the view. Suppose I am advocate, I am unregistered person. You are also unregistered person, but doing the business. Maybe you are proprietor, maybe you are partnership, but unregistered, not registered, but yes, you are doing the business. I am providing the legal service to you. Will you pay the tax or will I pay the tax, or there is no tax? Supplier advocate will pay the tax, recipient will pay the tax under RCM, or there is no tax? That is my question. Give me the reasoning also. Recipient will pay the tax, supplier will pay the tax, or there is no tax? Any other view? You are the recipient, you are doing the business for which you have taken the legal services, but your status is unregistered. You are not registered till now. Who will pay the tax on this transaction? RCM recipient will take mandatory and pay, or no tax because unregistered to unregistered. Now, tell me one more thing. If the transaction is exempted, who will pay the tax? I'm just asking the question. If the transaction is exempted, who will pay the tax? The answer is, if the transaction is exempted, then who will pay the tax? The answer is no taxes. Absolutely correct, no taxes. Prima, I'm sharing my view. Prima facie, it appear that recipient in doing the business, they have to pay the tax under reverse charge. You all were correct. You all were correct. But when I look the exemption notification serial number 45, when I look the exemption notification serial number 45, it says that the advocate service given to the unregistered person is an exempt supply of service. Read this line. A business entity with an aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year because of which they are eligible for exemption. If the business entity not taken registered turnover, then that business entity who are receiving the legal services, that legal service would be exempted, given by the tribunal, given by the partnership firm, given by the senior advocate. Asked. देखो, prima facie, you all are correct because it is not written registered person. So because it is not written registered person, it is not written registered person. So prima facie, it appears that if any business entity receiving the legal services have to pay the tax under reverse charge. But what happened in this case? So every business entity, somehow they need the legal services from advocate. Might be, can be the GST compliances or legal, any compliances. So what happened? If they will cover the same in the mandatory registration, it will be the trouble because everyone has to take registration. Every recipient has to take registration. In that case, what happened? They are saying the legal service given to the business entity not registered because of the threshold limit, then the service itself would be exempted. And now if the service exempted, no taxes at all. Is it clear? Now, next question to all of you. In front of you. Next question is in front of you. Is there any situation in which the advocate need to take mandatory registration? Is there any situation in which advocate need to take mandatory registration in the GST? Import of services, okay. If the advocate is unregistered, then import of services will not attract GST. Prima facie. Why? That you can read the exemption notification. There is an exemption notification. We'll discuss that also in the, with respect to OIDAR. Other than OIDAR, there is an exemption. Any other situation in which advocate need to take registration. Okay, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. Forward charge. If I am advocate providing the service to you, you will pay the tax under forward reverse charge. If customer is located in the out of taxable territory, out of India, whether that organization will also pay the tax under reverse charge. If I am advocate providing the service to a London company, whether London company will pay the tax under reverse charge. Answer is no. And that is the reason in every RCM notification, it is written in the taxable territory. In every RCM notification, it is written in the taxable territory. So my point is that can be the situation if advocate providing the legal service to the company located out of India and aggregate turnover exceed 20 lakhs. Then they have to take registration. Only point service would be export. So effectively, there is no tax liability, but I can say advocate need to take registration if the recipient is out of India. This is in my view that yes, it will cover under forward charge. Senior advocate providing the service to the advocate, then RCM advocate. That is the unanswered question. That one thing I never know. So if you read the exemption notification, okay, serial number 45, they are saying senior advocate giving the service to the person other than business entity, giving the service to the business entity unregistered or government, then service would be exempted. And in this clause B, they are saying partnership form of advocate or an advocate other than senior advocate providing the service to the another advocate, then service would be exempted. So the question of Pranit is absolutely correct. If senior advocate providing the service to the advocate, why that is not covered in the exemption? So my view, in broader sense, it would be exempted, but there can be some linking with the Advocate Act. There can be some linking with the Advocacy Act. So that might be, I'm not aware, but answer would be that would be exempted. Now, my question, next question to all of you. If advocate doing the GST compliances, he is filing the GST return, providing the GST consultancy to you, he is not doing any representation in the court, etc. Will you call as a legal service given by the advocate and covered under RCM, or it is not covered under RCM? Is it covered under RCM or not covered under RCM? He's only doing the GST and income tax compliances. Will it be covered or not covered? Now, you tell me why it is not covered. Because it is not the legal service given by the advocate. Just asking the reason. Is it because that it is not a legal service? Because legal service by the advocate will only the representation in front of the court. Is it? Professional services, is it? Okay. You all are correct. You all are correct till 24th September 2017. The problem has also been accepted by the department and they have issued the corrigendum. They've issued the corrigendum that legal services given by the advocate will include any branch of law. On 25th September 2017, they have identified the mistake, the definition of the legal services, and they have broadened the same. Now they are saying that service provided by the advocate will be the legal services. Legal services means any services, whether it is advice or consultancy or assistance in any law, whether it is GST or income tax or any other law, in any manner. And please note one thing. Please note one thing. They are saying representational service will also be included. It means earlier they were saying, see, what was the problem? Earlier they were saying that legal services means representational services before the court. That is the reason the doubt was arose in every mind, that apart from the representational, will it be the legal? Answer would be no. But till what date? Till 24 September, that interpretation was correct. But now they have accepted the mistake and they have issued the corrigendum, and now the language is that legal service means any service in any law, including representational, by which my answer is yes. If advocate providing the consultancy to the GST only, income tax, ITR filing, GST filing, that will also be the legal services and RCM would be applicable. Clear? Next. So the next is, now one thing you should note that every RCM entry, equal importance is for the respective serial number of the exemption notification. Do you agree with this now? Suppose I am talking about any services of RCM forward charge, but we have to see that whether there is an exemption or not. If it is exempted, then will there be any question of the tax by RCM or the forward charge? So it means I can say for the RCM chapter, there is an equal importance of exemption notification, the relevant entry linked to the respective category. We should be aware, and for your ease, for every transaction, for every entry of RCM, relevant exemption notification line item has been given for your reference. You have to read at your own. I have made the connection. I've explained the connection, that how it is important, but you all have to read at your own. Now the next is service provided by way of sponsorship to the body corporate. Then who will pay the tax? Any body corporate located in the taxable territory. Now tell me one thing, if the supplier, suppose there is a PhD Chamber of Commerce providing the sponsorship services, because I have given my company name as an advertisement in the PhD Chamber of Commerce. Perfect. The PhD Chamber of Commerce is charging to me, I am privately limited company, they are charging to me for sponsorship services, let's say 1 lakh rupees. Now who will pay the tax? PhD Chamber of Commerce or myself, if I am unregistered? My name is ABC Private Limited. Supplier is PhD Chamber of Commerce. Nature of the transaction is sponsorship services. I am a body corporate. Nature of the transaction is sponsorship, but both the parties are unregistered. Who will pay the tax? Exemption is in front of you. The right answer is the recipient needs to take registration and pay the tax. In this time, because recipient is the body corporate or partnership firm, the answer is yes. Whether they registered or not, RCM would be applicable, and therefore, by virtue of the 24 subsection, section 24 clause 3, mandatory registration, pay the GST under RCM. Absolutely correct. Now, the line which has been strike through, this is a recent amendment by 18th July, from 18th July. Service supplied by the government to the business entity. Service supplied by the government to the business entity, but excluding these services. It means in these categories of the services, it would not be under RCM, it would be under forward charge. First thing, excluding, it means in these categories of the services, government will pay the tax under forward charge. Government will pay the tax under forward charge. Perfect. Now, who is the supplier? Government, central government, state government, union territory, local authority. Who is the recipient? Any business entity located in the taxable territory. Any business entity located in the taxable territory. Perfect. Now, couple of questions. Let's read serial number 5A, then we'll ask the question. Both entries will be in front of you. You have to give the answer. Now, the problem is with the government that government are taking registration or required to take registration because of this entry, renting of immovable property. So they have inserted serial number 5A and they are saying service supplied by the government by way of renting of immovable property to a person registered under GST Act. Central government, any registered person in the GST. So if the supplier is the government and recipient is registered person, see, try to understand. Then who will pay the tax under on the renting of immovable property? The recipient will pay the tax. See, try to understand. Till the time the only serial number 5 was there, then I can say renting of immovable property will be covered 100% under forward charge. As a result, what was happened? That government have seen they're required to take registration in villages or in panchayat maximum because they have the huge property which is being rented out. So they have to take registration because of this compliances only. They have inserted serial number 5A in which they are saying if the recipient is registered, who will pay the tax? Recipient will pay the tax under RCM. Now, couple of questions to all of you. The main transaction is renting of immovable property. So probably, let me try to add this particular. Give me only a minute.
டைரி என்ன வச்சிருக்க யூஸ் பண்ணுவியா? எனக்கு வேணும். அப்புறம்
Now see, both are on the same slide. For legal services, RCM, the degree of the supply should be what? Degree means advocate only, registered in the bar council. Legal services given by the advocate or the firm of the advocate or any senior advocate. Only 3 categories are covered. If chartered accountant provide the legal consultancy, it will be always under forward, not under reverse charge. Clear? Clear, na, sir? Fine. So now tell me, if the supplier is the government, recipient is registered person, recipient is a private limited company. The GST registered, it is registered. The amount is 21 lakh. Then please tell me RCM forward charge or no tax. Currently, I am talking about only this entry.
RTM.
The answer is RCM. Simple RCM, sir. RCM because the recipient is registered. Next question. Supplier is a government unregistered, providing the service to the private limited company. Service of what? Renting of immovable property. To unregistered, transaction is 21 lakh. RCM forward charge or no tax. There are 2-3 answer of RCM. Let me discuss about the RCM. Why you are saying recipient has to take mandatory registration? Because serial number, because of by virtue the serial number 5A. Praneeth, you are saying service to the C. Praneeth, one thing is clear that the transaction of immovable property are covered in 5A. Agree or not? Ajit Jain, Praneeth Sethi. Do you agree with this that the transaction which I am discussing that is of serial number 5A? Now in the serial number 5A, is it written that recipient should be the business entity? Like in the serial number 5, it is written the business entity. In the 5A, it is written in the business entity. No, they are saying the recipient should be the registered person. Why you are saying if 5A? Why you are saying if 5A? Because we are discussing 5A only. All these example are 5A. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, sorry. So might be my mistake that I have not explained to all of you. That see, all the transaction are pertaining to immovable property, which I am discussing right now. So the answer is forward charge, absolutely correct. Now let's say last, not last, third. Private limited company unregistered giving the service of renting of immovable property to the private limited, transaction is 19 lakh. RCM forward charge or no tax. Oh my God, great. Even if the recipient, no tax. Why? The supplier is not registered. Last, what would be your answer? Last question, what would be your answer? If the private limited company giving the renting of immovable property to the private limited company, both are registered. Sorry, supplier is unregistered, recipient is registered, transaction is 21 lakh. What is your answer? Why you are saying RCM? Because of serial number 5A. You all are saying RCM because of 5A. Is it? 1 or 2 participants confirm because of 5A. Because of 5A. Praneeth, immovable property, if I'm transferring the title, selling the same, then there is no GST. If I'm giving on rent, so that all the example are for 5A, renting of immovable property we are talking about. Why all you are saying that RCM is applicable? Why are you saying that RCM is applicable? Whether supplier is government? Answer is no, supplier is not government. Supplier is private limited company. Sir, supplier is government, then it will come under RCM if the recipient is registered. But in this example, recipient is registered, but who is the supplier? Private limited company, not the central government, state government. So it will be covered under forward charge. Is it clear? There are various exemptions. You have to read that exemption. I'm not reading that exemption. Now there is another angle. There is another condition. There is for renting of immovable property. My God. There is more entry. One more entry which has been added. Renting of residential dwelling given by any person to the recipient, any registered person. The recipient will pay the tax under RCM. Correct. Lot of discussion are going on this entry. First question to all of you, all give the answer. There is a one residential dwelling which has been given to chartered accountant who is registered, who is operating that from that location, is operating the business. His registered person taken for the commercial purpose. The property is the residential. RCM forward charge or no tax. RCM. I'm asking the question. If the supplier is unregistered, property is residential, if the property is commercial and it has been given to the business, recipient is registered person, who will pay the tax? Supplier forward charge, recipient RCM. Recipient is registered person. The answer is going back to the condition. Five things are important. Property should be residential dwelling. If the property is not the residential, suppose it is commercial, it will never come under RCM because of 5AA. Second, supplier can be registered or can be unregistered, doesn't matter. But the recipient should be registered person. Now, try to understand or differentiate in these two things. One is type of the property, one is use of the property. See, one is the type of the property. If it is residential dwelling, then always come under RCM. If it is commercial, it will never come under RCM. One thing. Use. Now, use is not matter. It is not material here. Suppose one business entity has taken that residential dwelling for their stay of the employee. Will the RCM be applicable? Company has taken one residential property for a stay. Will the RCM be applicable? The answer is yes, RCM would be applicable. Mr. A is a proprietor, registered person. He has taken one residential dwelling for his personal house, for personal residing. Will the RCM be applicable? So that matter, see, first, that nature, that transaction should be the business transaction. Use can be for business purpose or it can be given for the stay of any employee. But the point is that should be the business expenditure. It means suppose one partner has taken one house for his own residence, but his partnership firm is registered. Will the partnership firm have to pay the tax? Sir, whether that expenditure is of the partnership firm, whether it is an inward supply for the partnership firm? No, then there is no question of RCM. I hope it is clear. See, in this category, there are three important doubts which is going on in the market. First doubt, whether guest house is a residential dwelling or not. Why this doubt has been arose? Because that in the service tax, there was an education guide which talks about one para 4.13.1, some para is written over there, which says that guest house, etc., who are temporary residents, not the full permanent residents. Correct? Some employees or some person, some director are coming, guests are coming only for certain period and they are going back only for temporary residing purpose. If it is a temporary, it is not the residential dwelling. And if it is not the residential dwelling, there is no question of reverse charge. Doubt number one is clear. Doubt number one is clear. What was the doubt? So what is the answer? Answer is unclear because GST Council has to give the answer. But for the time being, is it clear that what is the question? That whether guest house is a residential dwelling or not, the reason of the question was the service tax. Because in the service tax, guest house will never be counted as residential dwelling. Therefore, the same question is being asked that the guest house, whether RCM would be applicable or not. Answer is question one, no answer. But if I assume the service tax provision, accordingly, I can say the RCM not applicable. Second question. Mr. A registered in Gurgaon, Haryana. Fine. He has taken one property in Delhi on rented basis for the employee. Property is residential dwelling. Supplier is any person. And Mr. A registered in Gurgaon. Mr. A registered in Gurgaon. Now the point is, first, whether RCM would be applicable or not. Kindly give me the answer. Second question, which tax? Is it CGST, SGST, or is it IGST? Do you agree with this that IGST will be paid on interstate supply and CGST and SGST would be paid on intrastate supply? Do you agree with this? Now the point is, the problem is the transaction is intrastate supply. You are treating as interstate because of the recipient in different state. Do you correct now? You are saying IGST. Why you are saying that property is in Delhi and the person who is paying the tax is in Haryana? No. When we discuss the place of the supply chapter in the upcoming classes, section 7 of IGST Act says that supplier and POS, if it is in the different state, then inter. What is the supply? Where is the supplier? Supplier is from Delhi, sir. Where is the property? Delhi. Where is the recipient? Gurgaon. In giving the answer, transaction is inter or intra, you will look only two factors, supplier and place of the supply. In this example, both are in Delhi, transaction become intra. Therefore, IGST cannot be the right answer. No, cannot be the right answer. Then what happened? Either the recipient has to pay the tax if it is CGST or SGST. If it is CGST or SGST, it cannot be also the right answer. Why? State concept. Which state? Which state? SGST. Transaction is intrastate for which state? For Delhi. Can person registered in Haryana pay the SGST of Delhi? Is it possible that Haryana recipient can pay the SGST of Delhi? Not possible, sir. Not possible. Open-ended question. Got my point? The right answer would be CGST and SGST. If CGST and SGST would be there, that Mr. A has to take another registration in Delhi, then only he can pay the tax of CGST and SGST. Because that S should be of Delhi, but he is not registered in Delhi. So when he will pay the tax, that state is of Haryana. So the mismatch, not possible. So that is the answer for which no one has the, that is the question for which no one has the answer. Is it, question is clear to all? Because answer I do not have also. Even government does not have also. It has been asked by the Maharashtra Tax Association to the GST Council, to the Ministry of Finance. That kindly give the answer if property and supplier is both located in one state wherein the recipient is not registered. Whether RCM applicable, if applicable, then which tax? Is it C plus S or I? Because C plus S not possible. I, it is not inter. Open-ended, sir. Ajadji, that question has been arose only on 18th July. So no one has the answer. No one has the answer. Number of the representation has been gone to the council. Now the council would give the clarity in time to come. Still, it is pending at their end. It is not answered. Clear? Second question. Now the third question. See, this entry has mainly given the rise to three important disputes. The third disputes. You tell me one thing, as per the understanding is, as of now, we have not completed ITC chapter. See, if director staying in any hotel, if director or employee going for the business purpose, let's say in Delhi is staying and you are registered in Delhi, can you take the ITC of the hotel or not? Hotel expenditure ka ITC, food and beverages ki baat nahi kar raha hu. I'm not talking about the food and beverages, I'm talking about the hotel expenditure. ITC available or not available? Answer would be ITC available. ITC available. Now, what you are doing, instead of taking the hotel every time, you've taken one residential property on rent for the director, for the employee, for the business purpose. Now, in which your employee is staying, your director is staying, you will pay the tax under RCM. But the big question, will it be allowed as ITC straightforward, or is there any ambiguity in future? Department may raise the question that it does not have any nexus with your business transaction, therefore no ITC. That is also one of the questions which has been asked by the Maharashtra tax practitioner to the finance minister. That point is also pending. So ideally ITC should be available, fully agree with you, but that is the third question which is being asked to the finance minister. This entry is also clear to all of you, correct? So one PDF, I hope you all have received. Still GST is new one, maybe lot of ambiguity, sir. The problem is, first, the law is also changing on daily basis. For example, 18th July, all the changes are there. For that, GST is only for the 30 days. For that changes, GST is only for 30 days old. Correct. So that is the problem, and it will take a lot of time. I can 100% say it will take at least 5 more days, 5 more years. And after 5 more years, then there will be this, God knows. But the point is, the time tribunal would be settled. It is high expectation in the next council meeting that there would be the clarity regarding the GST tribunal. Correct. Na? It is in Madurai. Next council meeting is in Madurai. Probably in the month of the September, second week or third week, maybe. So when the tribunal would be open now, then there would be the big win, I guess. Lot of clarity. Next entry, serial number 5B and serial number 5C, which talks about real estate sector. Again, service supplied. That we have too much opportunity. You can still say, if you are interested in doing the research in the GST, 10 years is there for you to play on the ground. 10 years is there with you. And 10 years, sufficient for the any newcomers to set the career or any mediator who have started only 5 or 10 years is there. So GST is definitely the future, no doubt about that. Just do the regular study and do deep study of every tribunal, high court, judgment, etc. You will have a lot of clarity. Next, service supplied by any person by use the transfer of the development right FSI. So in case of the development right which is being given, then promoter has to pay the tax. It can be the long-term lease. So the right is being given either in terms of the long-term lease or FSI or additional FSI. So the development right is being given to the promoter. Then promoter has to pay the tax and the reverse charge. Correct. So serial number 5B and 5C say that promoter has to pay the tax and the reverse charge. For more clarity in respect of the real estate sector, you can watch the 2 hours video. Now the serial number 6 again. If the director giving the service to the company, company will pay the tax and the reverse charge. Circular 140 has given the clarification because there is a lot of ambiguity. First point to all of you. Suppose director has own car, multiple cars is there. So company saying kindly give one car only for 1 day because of the foreigner is coming to our factory. So he has given the car for which he is charging 1 lakh rupees. Hypothetically, I'm saying. Now, will the RCM be applicable? Give me the answer. Supplier is the director, owner of that car, recipient is the body corporate. Will the RCM be applicable? Director has one restaurant. Restaurant has given the food to the company. That is service. Will that also come under RCM? Asking the question to all of you. Restaurant has supplied the food and owner of the restaurant is the director. Will it also come under RCM? Yes or no? Only 5 or 6 participants are giving the answer. Why not 36? Now, why you are differentiating? When in the first case, director is owning the car or director has the company who is providing the cab on rent. I'm talking about the 6 example only, 6 point only. Director has a company, XYZ Private Limited. He has given the car on rent. Now, on which you are saying RCM would be applicable and on this case, RCM not applicable. My view with respect to the serial number 6, they are not talking about the supplier should be advocate. They are also talking about category of the services. See, what is the category of the services? Service has been given by the director in the capacity of the director, not in every capacity. Director providing the service in the capacity of the director. Important point. It means renting the services, different thing. Supplying the restaurant, different thing. Supplying the food and beverages, different thing. It is not the service in the director capacity. I'm a director. I have the technical capacity. I'm charging some technical fees to you. RCM applicable. My presence in the board is required, for which I'm charging 20,000 rupees board meeting sitting fees for attending one board meeting. RCM applicable. The service which has been rendered in the capacity of the director, on that only RCM would be applicable. That coming to this point, just wait for a minute. Okay. So first try to understand, not only written in the supplier as a director, they have also written in the category of the services as a director. It means service should also be given in the director capacity, not in any other capacity. First thing. Second thing, now director is getting the remuneration. Will that RCM be applicable or not? Director remuneration. Why no? The reason is employer-employee relationship. Now the point is it a salary? Answer would be yes. For example, I am a full-time director. I am having the contractual responsibility with the company. I have also signed the employment contract with the company. So basically the full-time director are getting the salary in the name of the director remuneration. Now circular 140 given as one additional things for checking that whether it is a salary or not. They are saying that if the TDS is under income tax, if the TDS is deducted under section 192, then it is a salary and no RC. Clear? Now they have stock option service RCM applicable on benefit of the stock option. It is a perquisite. See, that is also part and parcel of employment contract. See, that is also covered in the if like to retain some employee, like to retain certain employee. So we are giving the option of ESOP. So that is also the contractual relationship. And second thing, as correctly told by Mariam, that definition of the GST, goods and services, not covered money and security. Not covered money and security, therefore they will out of GST. So because of the two reasons, there is no GST implication. Is it clear? Or counter question you can ask. Now that circular 140 has given one more clarity. Suppose the director is independent director. Company is paying the director remuneration to that independent director. Let's say the company is deducting the TDS under section 192. What happened to that? Will the RC be applicable or not? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Why yes? Listen carefully. Why yes? Listen carefully. They are saying that as per the Companies Act, the independent director cannot be the employee of the company. Circular 140 has given the clarity by linking with the Companies Act. What is the independent director? Obviously not defined in the GST. So they have approached the in which it is written independent director should not be the employee of the company. If it is not employee of the company, then there is no employer-employee relationship. Even though company is deducting the TDS under 192, but that relation is not RCM. No, there would always be RCM. It cannot be called as a director remuneration. Clear? Is it clear? Independent director, nominee director, non-executive director. Yes, yes. No employer-employee relationship. Absolutely correct. Apart from that, any other amount like commission, like technical fees, like professional fees, whatever is being taken by the director, they will be covered under reverse charge. Chairman, so whatever the amount that is being given, taken by the director, it will be covered under reverse charge. Any question? Whether he is a director, sitting fees always RCM. So there is no doubt for the RCM. Sitting fees, there is no problem. Na? Sitting fees, there is no problem. And answer to the Mr. Jayan that if he is holding the office in the capacity of the director, he is still the director, and we are giving some amount, then it will be under RCM, provided it should not be employer-employee relationship. Any question? director is getting the salary also, salary would be out of GST. Salary part I have told that it is a full-time director and on which company is deducting the TDS under section 192, then there is no question. No, it would not be treated as a part of salary. Sitting fees would not be, sitting fees is not the salary. Is not the salary in my view. No, not in the salary. Sitting fees, see, director getting the commission, director getting the professional fees also. So apart from the salary, everything will become under RC. Fine. Serial number, next serial number 7. Provision will never be the inward expense. Will see, you are making the provision. If not paid, will it be covered? समझा नहीं मैं, not clear. Mariam MC, so only full-time director is covered for RCM for salary. No. Only independent director is covered for RCM for salary, not the whole-time director, because whole-time director is the employee and it will not be considered for RCM. It is out of the GST. If independent director is there, then it would become under RCM. Serial number 7, 8, 9. Serial number 7, 8, insurance agent providing the service to the insurance company. It will come under RCM. Recovery agent, it will come under RCM if the recipient is a banking company, financial institution, NBFC, music composer, photographer, artistic, etc., who are giving the or transferring or permitting the use of copyright. They are giving the content to the music company, producer, or like. Music company has to pay the tax under reverse charge. Author, now the author has been divided in 2 parts. Author has also the option to pay the tax under forward charge, or he can pay the tax under RC, for which he has to give the declaration. Author has to give the declaration in the form of annexure 1 to the jurisdictional officer that he is opting forward charge. Otherwise, it is come under reverse charge. Who will pay the tax under RC? Publishing company. So these are the declaration. You can refer. Certain transaction, certain more transaction with respect to the banking company, RBI, member of overseeing committee, who are the member of certain committee getting the amount from the Reserve Bank of India. Who will pay the tax? RBI. Business facilitator, business correspondent. Again, they are doing the business with the banks. Who will pay the tax? Banking company. DSA, who is disbursing, who is allowed to disperse the loan for which they are getting some amount from bank. Who will pay the tax? Banking company. Now, please note here they are covered only individual DSA. If the proprietorship firm is there, who is a DSA, then it will become under forward charge, not under RC. Service provided by the recovery agent, not in the nature of the recovery. Going back. So you are saying service supplied by the recovery agent to the banking company or financial institution or NBFC banking company. Now, what is the service? Mr. A is a recovery agent. Now he is providing some consultancy to the bank. Is it? Just hypothetically. Then it will not become under RC. Obviously not. So just become, see, one person under one GST number. For example, I have one GST number. Can I provide only one category of the service or multiple category of the transaction I can provide from one GST number? Can I provide single or multiple? Multiple. Now, for example, I am an advocate. Then to that extent, you will pay the tax under RCM. Suppose I am the teacher also. I am the teacher also. Or I am a supplier of the goods also. Well, that you pay the tax under RCM? No. I am advocate, but the service should be also in the capacity of the advocate. I am recovery agent. Now I am providing the consultancy to you. That will not come under the serial number 8. It is my view. Ketan Majanji, you can share your practical experience. Next, serial number 14. So if anybody has contradictory view and has the sound reasoning, please feel free to tell in the class. There is no matter that I am wrong in a particular point. At least I should also learn something new from you. And that is the only reason. So what is the biggest benefit of the classes? That is learning on every day. So it is not that whatever I'm telling, I'm 100% correct. No, not necessary, because GST, even the GST department doesn't know that whether they are correct or not. So how can I correct in all point? So I'm requesting, because like Ketan Majanji is from banking industry. So they can share, they can contradict me also if I'm wrong. So my humble request to all the participants. Now the security services. Now one participant is, suppose, let's say, is working from the G4S company. So he would have the much more knowledge than me, because he's only dealing the security industry. In case of the insurance survey, so if the capacity in the insurance agent, it means the commission income which is being given on selling of one insurance, that is come under RCM. In my view, other part like insurance surveyor or valuation expert, that will not come under RCM. Security service. Now read carefully, because we will do one case study, multiple case study. So you have to give the answer for all the six questions. Very well drafted. Correct. Now, security services provided by way of the supply of the security personnel to the registered person. Any other person other than body corporate, supplier should be other than body corporate, recipient should be registered person in the taxable territory. Now, this provision is not applicable in two categories. First, section 51 registered government, who is registered only for the purpose of deducting the TDS on the expenditure. Second, composition dealer. Please note one thing, composition dealer not liable to RCM only under this category. It means in all other category, wherever it is written registered person or something, then if the recipient is composition dealer, has to pay the tax under reverse charge. In the security services, this is only the relaxation if the recipient is under section 10 registered entity, then he will not be liable to pay the tax under RCM. Service should be security, recipient should be registered, supplier should be body corporate. Insurance on any policy through its services, LIC or any other, is not providing any service up to the date. Insurance on any policy, though its service, LIC or any other, is not providing not service up to the date of certain maturity. No. We are talking about that insurance agent who is earning the commission income on selling of particular policy. So once he sell one particular policy, that he will be entitled to get commission. What is the commission? For bank, it is an inward supply. For agent, it is an outward supply. So basically, agent is providing service to the company, insurance company, on which we are talking about the RCM applicability. Question number 1. Security service provided by the XYZ Private Limited, registered in the GST. Mr. A, recipient registered in the GST. Tell me 3 possibilities. RCM, forward charge, or no tax. डॉक्टर को भी तो फोन करना है ना। Answer is forward charge because supplier is body corporate. What we have discussed that supplier should be other than body corporate, but in this example, supplier is the body corporate, so forward charge. In all these examples, please assume that amount of the service is 21 lakh. Housekeeping services, Mr. A is a registered, ABC Private Limited is a registered. Forward charge RCM along with reason. Forward charge RCM on no tax along with reason. The answer is forward charge because it is not the security. Perfect. Third example, Manpower XYZ Limited, ABC Private Limited. RCM forward charge or no tax. Quickly tell me, kindly quickly tell me. Again the same reasoning, forward charge. Again the same reasoning, forward charge because category is the manpower. Now the security services provided by unregistered person to the registered entity ABC Private Limited. Forward charge RCM. The right answer is RCM. Next question, security services given by the unregistered person to the unregistered person, but the amount is 21 lakh. RCM forward charge or no tax. Supplier is unregistered, recipient is unregistered. Once again read this particular point, then give me the answer. Once again read this particular category of the recipient, then give me the answer. In this example, supplier is unregistered, recipient is unregistered, recipient the body corporate, then give me the answer. Now again see the particular condition of the RCM, then give me the reply. Is it forward charge or RCM or no tax? Value is 21 lakh. Absolutely correct. The answer is the condition itself says that if the recipient is registered, then only RCM. If the recipient is registered, then only RCM. In this example, where the recipient is registered at the time of the transaction, no. So one thing is clear, RCM not applicable. Now, transaction value is crossing the threshold limit. So liability shifted to the forward charge, pay the tax under forward charge. Last. XYZ partnership firm registered in the GST. Recipient is also registered in the GST. Supply is security services. Forward charge RCM on no tax. Can you give me the reason also? Suppose I'm asking the reason. Can you give me the reason also? Why forward charge? Why RCM? Whatever the reason is, can you give me the reason also for this particular answer? Give me 1 minute. I have to call to doctors. Give me only 1 minute. Where it is written LLP, I have written only partnership firm. I have not told that LLP. Where I have told that it is LLP. So every partnership firm is not the LLP. Cannot be considered as body corporate. So it will become under RC. So the answer would be RCM. So fine. Next category, serial number 15, service provided by way of the renting of any motor vehicle. So last point is clear now, because supplier is any other person, body corporate, other than body corporate. Answer is yes. Partnership firm is not the body corporate. Recipient should be registered. Yes, it is registered. Service should be security. Yes, service is security. So RCM would be applicable. Now the serial number 15. Service provided by way of renting of any motor vehicle designed to carry the passenger, where the cost of the fuel is included in the consideration. And if the recipient is the body corporate, supplier should be other than body corporate and who supply the service and does not issue the invoice charging the GST at the rate of 12%. Why I am saying 12%? Because we are reading the notification of central tax 6%. Similar amount of the state tax would be there. So the total tax would be 12%. Now, one thing has been recently clarified in the 47th GST Council meeting. What is that? In the 47th GST Council meeting, they have clarified if so, like for example, Mr. A is an employee of XYZ Limited. So there is one permanent monthly time charter that is on daily basis. He is providing the pick and drop facility to the company. So they are picking the employee from their house and they are dropping to the company and vice versa. Pick and drop of the employee from home to the office and vice versa. One cab. RCM applicable? Yes, if all the conditions satisfied, RCM applicable. Second out, suppose they booked one cab. They booked one cab. Say, for example, they are going for some business purpose. They are going for some business purpose and they book some cab. Now, if they booked some cab, fine. And that is only for from office to the business to the particular client place. Will that RCM be applicable if all the conditions are satisfied? Then there was a doubt. Now the clarity has been given. Answer is no. If it is a time charter, fixed time period charter is there, then yes, RCM applicable. If only for the selected journey from one location to the another, then that's it. No, there is no RCM applicable. In the 47th GST Council meeting, they have clarified. Very important things. Okay. Next is service of the lending of the security in the security lending scheme of SEBI, lender and borrower. What is that scheme? So that is one type of the scheme of the SEBI in which one person, suppose I am owner of the particular security. I am having the security of, let's say, ICICI Bank. I can give that security on temporary purpose, let's say 1 month, 2 months, renting of that particular concept. I'm just giving the word renting so that you can easily correlate. Technical terms are different. So there is an option that that particular security can be lended for a particular time on which they are earning the income. Who is giving that particular income? Borrower. So I have given my security to you for 2 months. You will pay the amount to me. And in that case, you being a borrower have to pay the tax under RCM. This concept is called as a intermediate lending scheme of the SEBI. How it is operate, how it works, that I cannot have the too much idea. If you belongs to particular industry, you will have the idea. Otherwise, on an average basis, I have explained. Now, this is the transaction in which always IGST, even though the lender and the borrower are in the same state, both are in the same state, still it will be under IGST. So in the last class, I have explained that two transactions will always come under RCM. First, in the goods, there is a last transaction, priority sector lending certificate, and in the services, last transaction, that is lending or borrowing of the security. That will always come under RCM as IGST, whether it is same state or in the different state. So that is the reason you can see Suppose I am advocate, or I am a transporter, or I am any person providing the supply to you. You are paying the tax under reverse charge. If I am registered, I will file the GSTR1 3B. Yes or no? If I am registered person, I will file the GSTR 3B1 or not? Kindly give me the confirmation. I am advocate registered in the GST 1 and 3B or not? If I am registered person, I have to file my 3B1. Otherwise, there is per day late fees. If I not file my return, even the nil return is also required. So if I am advocate providing the legal service to you, you will pay the tax under RCM. Then I will report by ticking this option. I will tick this option and will fill entire detail. What are the details that we will discuss in the GSTR1 and 3B. But the point is, I have to report. By ticking supply attract under RCM. Once I tick, this second option would also be enabled. Intra-state, but IGST. Transaction is intra, but IGST. Is it clear? So I am a lender providing the security on the land. You are borrower, or I am bank providing the priority sector lending certificate to you. In both the cases, I will tick this option. Why? Because you being a recipient will always pay as IGST. Clear? Both the option is clear. Which option to be ticked in the GSTR1? If a person is carrying the repacking only and giving back to the supplier but not registered, for example, does this fall under exempt category? Turnover. What is the turnover? So he is providing the supply the service. But see, they have given the circular, they have given the clarity. So ideally it should not come under RCM, but they have issued 2 circular. So CBIC has issued 2 circular. Let me open that circular. These are the 2 circular. That circular 93 for priority sector lending certificate, circular 119 for this lending borrowing. They are saying the nature of the IGST shall be, the nature of the GST shall be IGST under RCM. There is no logic, but they have given the same. These are the 2 circular which has been issued for these 2 categories. Sir, please repeat. Sure, I will repeat. So I'm saying that there are the 2 transactions. See, if I am a supplier, but my tax is not under forward, you being a recipient will pay the tax. So because I'm registered, I have to file my GSTR1 and 3B. But I will not pay the tax, or I'm not liable to pay the tax. Then how I will file? I have to click on this option. Diganta, is it clear? This part is clear to you? Kindly confirm so that can move to the next point. Fine. When I am providing the service of outward covered under RCM, then I will take this option. It is a confirmation. It is a confirmation that my supply is covered under RCM. Okay. Now, suppose out of that, which we are discussing the goods and services, the nature of the transaction is priority sector lending certificate or lending borrowing, that particular lending scheme of the SEBI. Then I will also take this option because the recipient will pay the tax as IGST. By virtue of these 2 circular, I have to take this option, interested supply attracting RCM. So the recipient has to pay the tax under RCM as IGST. Is it clear? All the participants? Fine. So now last thing, that suppose I am providing the supply to the SEZ unit or developer. I am advocate providing the supply to the SEZ unit or developer. Who will pay the tax, advocate or the recipient? SEZ unit. Who will pay the tax? The answer is forward charge. Answer is forward charge. If I will take, or if I will put the GST number of SEZ unit, see, try to understand the difference. the SEZ particular pop-up would be blocked. It is linked to the GST number. Once you put the GST number, once you put the GST number here, which belong to the SEZ, once you put the GST number which belong to the SEZ, then automatically this pop-up would open. How? Let me show you. So here I have entered the SEZ number. Now these, you can see this pop-up is open. Now once this pop-up is open, you can see this is blocked. RCM is blocked. It means if you are supplying to the SEZ unit, which is physically in India but deemed to be located out of India. So RCM is applicable if the recipient is located in the taxable territory. Located in the taxable territory. Now, in case of SEZ, they are not located in the taxable territory, and therefore they are saying here the no RCM. You have to pay the tax under forward charge basis, or we can have the option of LUT also. That is the another point. Is it clear? Example of interested supply attracting IGST RCM. Example of interest. These two example. Sir, these two example. Circular 93 and Circular 119. You are asking the question, na? Or is it clear? So these are the two reasons. These are the 2 points. If in case of the that particular priority sector lending certificate or SEBI lending scheme, even if the supplier and the recipient in the same state, it will always be considered as in IGST. It is intra-state, but IGST would be paid by the recipient. Where to report RCM supply by the supplier when he paid taxes, self-invoice dispatch? Where to report RCM supplies by the supplier? So I am advocate and you are my recipient. I am providing the legal service to you. You are the company. You are asking where the advocate will report, or you are asking where the company will report. Why? Okay, you are talking about the recipient bill. So first, for the recipient, it is an inward supply. Do you agree with this? For recipient, the RCM is an inward supply on which company will pay the tax. Correct? So GSTR1, nowhere it will be reported, because GSTR1 is the details of outward supplies. For company recipient, it is inward, so it will not form part of the GSTR1. Agreed or not? Clear? This part is clear. GSTR1 reporting is clear. Now coming to 3B. In the 3B, there is a specific column 3.1.D, wherein they are talking about inward supplies liable to reverse charge. You will report here in 3.1.D and also in the table 4A3. So to take the ITC, 1, you will pay the tax by reporting in 3.1.D. At the seconds, you will report in the table 4A, so that you can take the ITC. That's it. Okay, sir. Under IT, many industries are given tax holiday. Will this affect? No. No. So, like income tax holiday, there is no holiday of in the GST, because just they are simply collecting and paying. They are not paying from own pocket. So there is no holiday except exemption notification. So currently we are completing the class at this stage. We will start in the next class from this notification. From inward supplies covered under RCM. It will hardly take inward supplies covered under RCM as IGST. Okay, so import of services we will discuss. So that is very small part. Very small part. So fine. Today, changing some pattern to ask the question. Changing some pattern to ask the question. So first, I will apply only for 5 minutes. No fees for Saturday. No fees, sir. No fees. Free of cost. पर आना जरूर. No fees. But आना जरूर. 7 to 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday GST are 9 and 9. Saturday and Sunday GST are 9 and 9. Fine. So now I have paid 699. It will be adjusted. If anybody has paid 699, it will be adjusted. To whom you paid? Is it CA Club India or to whom? Link, there will be different link. For Saturday, Sunday, there will be the different link. Manoj, see, earlier they were not allowed. I have also, myself has denied that no, only for the, it is only paid. Today only I have decided that I will allow you to join as a free of cost. If anybody has paid, just remind me, I will arrange the same adjustment, or will it be refunded or not? We will think, because amount is very nominal. Anybody paid now, so that will be adjusted in the upcoming courses or upcoming. You all have to join my membership plan. Then it will be adjusted. Correct. Everyone, sir, everyone can join. नहीं, अगर मैंने free किया है ना, if I have given the free, it means it's, if you paid, it will be adjusted. No problem. We'll discuss. We'll discuss the membership is. Let me come back to my last point. The different pattern, you have to compare and tell me which pattern is correct. Okay. I am changing the pattern to asking the question. It is different. Okay. It is different, but you all have to tell me which one is better. Okay. First change. I am disabling the chat only to the host. You cannot chat to everyone. First changes. So if you give the answer, that I can see, no one else can see. Second, I will pick certain name to ask the question, to ask the reply. I will ask certain participant to give the reply specifically. Okay. We'll do 3-4 questions and then you can confirm. Is it okay or not okay? So camera possible नहीं किसी के लिए, किसी single participant ने camera open नहीं किया. That is not correct. Yeah. Then just to make more involvement. That's it. More involvement. Only the process is only to make so that you all actively give the participation comparatively more better way. ठीक है. चलो sir. पहला question. Ketan आपसे. Rest all the participant can give the reply, but I am asking the question to one participant. At least I will see the reply from that participant. ठीक है. Ketan, can you tell me that which category is of RCM in which the composition dealer are not required to pay the tax? Question to the Ketan Mahajan, that which category the RCM is not applied to the composition dealer. No idea. You have to give me the answer. No, because now the point is no one can see. Right answer is correct. Security services. Ajit Jain, can you tell me, can the GTA charge 5% and 12% in one registration for different customer? Ajit Jain, I'm looking to your answer. Can GTA charge 5% for some customer, 12% for some customer in forward charge? Ajit Jain, I'm looking to the answer to the Ajit Jain, but to give the reply. The right answer is yes. Question to Sudha Sridharan. Can independent director taking the salary, will the company pay the tax under RCM? Sudha Sridharan. Director is an independent director getting the salary. Will the RCM be applicable? Yes or no? Sudha Sridharan. Right. Absolutely right. Yes, RCM is applicable. RCM would be applicable because independent director cannot be the employee of the company. Mariam MC, if renting of the motor vehicle given by the supplier charging 12% to the body corporate, will it be RCM or forward charge? Will it be RCM or forward charge? Will it be RCM or forward charge? Right answer is only forward charge. Now, Mona S, can you tell me that insurance agent giving the service to the bank, RCM or forward charge? Mona S. Can you give me the answer that if the insurance agent giving the service to the insurance company, is it under RCM or forward charge? Mona S. Specific name इसीलिए ले रहा हूँ because I like to see the answer and participation of all. The right answer is RCM. Okay, Sumit Kumar. Sumit Kumar, can you please tell me that if DSA is providing the DSA, which is a loan distributor for the bank, in which case RCM would be applicable? In which case RCM would be applicable if DSA providing the service to the bank? In which case RCM would be applicable? The question is from Sumit Kumar. Oh, kindly give the answer. Sumit Kumar, kindly give the answer. And Priya, you also give the answer. In which case? In which case? In which case RCM would be applicable? Absolutely correct. The right answer is if the DSA is an individual, then RCM. If it is other than individual, then forward charge. Perfect. Lata Sri Y. Lata Sri Y. Can you tell me that if restaurant is registered in the GST because its turnover crossed the threshold limit, and now that restaurant is providing the supply through Zomato, who will pay the tax? Zomato will pay the tax as a deemed supplier under 9(5), or now the liability would be on the restaurant. Lata Sri, if restaurant is registered in the GST because threshold limit is crossed, service supplied through Zomato, who will pay the tax? Absolutely right answer by Lata Sri. Mr. Nayan, what is your view? Mr. Nayan, what is your view? Who will pay the tax? Mr. Nayan, who will pay the tax? Mr. Nayan, who will pay the tax? Zomato or restaurant? The right answer is Zomato, because that even though restaurant is registered or not, doesn't matter. Now, share your feedback. Which pattern is more better? This one or earlier one? Both. Earlier. This is good. This one. So majority mixed view. Why you are saying that earlier was? We can evaluate ourselves. Both are good. Much better. Both is better. See, कई लोग है ना reply नहीं करते. मुझे इस बात का गुस्सा आता है. That is the reason I opted this method. Certain participants are not giving the reply even after saying so much of attention, after giving so much of attention. That is the reason. So I will follow both the mechanism. People, see, you all are giving the answer. That is correct now. In the same way that I am asking earlier. Now, what is being added? Only certain name is added. That's it now. It doesn't mean that I am not giving the attention to the answer of all the participants. I am giving. Correct now. Additionally, I am making attentive to some participant. I am forcing to some participant to give the reply. By reply देना ही पड़ेगा. इज्जत की बात है. क्यों अजीत जी? Fine. Thank you very much. Good night to all of you. We'll meet on Monday as per our regular class. But yes, if anybody like to attend the class of Saturday, Sunday, we'll share the link in the Saturday, Sunday. For Saturday, Sunday, we'll share the link. And this is not the mistake of the CA Club India. This is my mistake. Not the mistake, because earlier we have the Zoom capacity of 100 participants. We have now arranged for 500 participants because it's cost 7,000 to 10,000 approx. So that is the reason I limited earlier to the 100 participants. Now it's open. Will the recording be available? Yes, the recording will be available. Share the link also in the group. I have shared the link in the group as well. Okay. A recording would also be added. No problem. And nothing, not the problem of the CA Club India. Please mind. So this is you. So to not to call and tell me tell her that why you're not given correct view, because it's my communication. I have myself told that no, it is not allowed, only recording would be given. Now I have decided you will allow to join, because only the earlier it was 100 capacity, now we have the 500 capacity of the Zoom. That is the only reason. Fine. We'll meet tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Whenever find time, please check the question. Acha, oh, so fine. I will check. We'll check on Monday, na? We'll check on Monday. No problem. Thank you. Good night to all of you. Is there MCQ on Monday? We'll see. We'll see.